गाइस, एंस मलयालम के एक ब्रांड न्यू चैप्टर में आप सभी का स्वागत है. एंस മലയാളംന്റെ പുതിയൊരു എപ്പിസോഡിൽ നിങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവർക്കും സ്വാഗതം. Today we are going to cover probably the most common Hindi word. Now, can any one of you guess it? If it's the most common Hindi word, then doesn't that mean that we should all pay our best attention? Yeah? So, well, here goes. The word we are going to be learning is hona. It means to be. In an actual sentence, it usually translates to am, is, or are. And we'll see this in a minute, so hold tight. Now, I want you to step back from Hindi for a minute and let's focus on the language English. Okay? Now, if I start saying I is, you am, they is, you will look at me with a weird look, right? Because you'll be thinking that what type of English am I speaking? Grammarless English. Now, a sentence should not be I is, you am. Okay, because you know and I know that it is wrong. So that's not how the sentence should be. Well, exactly the same concept applies for Hindi. Now, to be very honest, before taking this video, I did not know that in Malayalam there is no such particular rule. And while taking this video, that is when I realized that in Malayalam, we don't have word as is, are, am. We just have a single word, and that is anu. Avalu povu anu. Avaru povu anu. Avaru kaikiyanu. So all these would end with one word anu, and sometimes they won't end at all with that word. Okay, so that was a real shocker for me, but in English we have is, am, are, and similarly in Hindi also we have different ways of saying is, am, are. So first learn how hona changes and we'll see a bunch of examples. Does that sound like a good idea? Here we'll use what we learned from pronouns. And if you cannot remember that lesson, then go back to it and revise over it. So are you ready to get going? Fine. So we start with I am. Now I am, in Hindi we say मैं हूँ. Okay, मैं हूँ. And Malayalam we say nyan anu. Okay. We are, in Hindi we say hum hai. Okay. Focus the hai word. Hum hai. In Malayalam again we have nyangal anu. So in Malayalam we will have that same. So I'm not going to repeat the Malayalam sentence this time because obviously it's gonna be the same, but for English and Hindi it's gonna be different. So I'll use English this time particularly to teach you that spoken Hindi word, that is hai, hu, and more to come. So you are, that would be tu hai. Remember, intimate. Okay, again I have taught you this in that pronouns chapter, the first video. Please go and check it out if you have not, because you're not gonna understand this if you don't know that. Okay, so tu hai, it is you are. Okay, and aap hai, now that would be in English you are again. Okay, and the third one is you are tum ho. Got it? So you are is said in 3 types in Hindi. If we are speaking in English, we'll just say you are. we are not going to use different words. We are just going to say you are. But in Hindi, we have 3 different words. If it's intimate, if it's to a very very close person, then you will say tu hai. If it is to an elder, you will say aap hain. And if it is to someone, a casual person, you are just going to say tum ho. Do you get it? Good. Remember that we learned in pronouns that Hindi has 3 different types of you, that is tu, tum and aap, and there is difference in each of them. Don't think that you could use tu everywhere or you could use tum everywhere. Okay, you maybe can use aap everywhere because no one is going to get offended with that. That's showing respect. But you cannot use tu and tum everywhere. You cannot say tum to an elder or tu to an elder. So for that you have to watch the previous video. Please go and check that out. Now let's moving forward. We had learned third person, okay, singular as well as plural. So we are going to learn about them. Now we have he, she, is. We say ye hai, okay, and these or they are, we say ye hain, okay, hain. That should be the sound which is coming out of you, not hai, it should be hain, okay. Now he or she or that is would be verb. What is it? Wo hai. Again, he, she or that. We use with these 3 words, we use is, and we say he is, she is, that is, and we say wo hai in Hindi. Wo hai. And the last one, those or they are, is we hain. Got it? We hain. Now I'm not going to repeat like out of which of these they are singular, which of these they are plural. You would be knowing if you know it. You have watched the previous video. For those who haven't, please go and watch it. I'm saying it again and again, and in that I have specified which one is singular, which one is plural. There's a lot to remember, don't you think? Now, well, actually there's just 3 and a bit rules you really need to know. There is not a lot. Like we know that in English we have to say I am. We know that in English we have to say you are. We know in English we have to say he is or she is. But they are, those are. So similarly we have rules in Hindi. Now let's go to those rules. Who means am. What does who means? Who means am. In place of am we are using who. In place of I we use main, okay, and am in place of am we are using who. Got it? Simple. I am, main hu. That is. So whenever you want to say I am, you will say main hu. Good. Now second one is. Second one is. Okay, so is we use it with he is, she is, okay, and in Hindi we say hai, as I am giving hai, hai. In Hindi it is written in different way, obviously in Hindi language. So if you guys want to learn written English also, please comment it. I'll plan it accordingly, but for now I am using English for that. So hai, hai is used for hai, like wo hai, yeh hai, like that. Okay, now third is are. What is it? Are. They are, these are, those are. So what do we say in Hindi? We have hai, which is hain. In hai there is a bindu, hai. Okay, so how do we say it in Hindi? Aap hai, we hai. So we are giving respect, so that is hai. Now I said in English we have is, am and are, and for Hindi we have for is we have hai, for am we have hu, and for are we have hai. Got it? Now there is a slight exception over here. Remember it very nicely. We use ho for tum and we use hai for tu. Okay? It can be tricky to remember. I know. So keep practicing and you'll get there. What is it? It's ho for tum. That is an exception. In tum we don't use hai. Tum hai. What do we say? Tum ho. Okay? Tum ho. That is the only exception. Rest we don't use ho anywhere. We use for I, for मैं, we use मैं हूँ. For तू we use तू है और वो है, and for plural forms we use वे हैं और ये हैं. Okay, but this ho is a big exception which is only and only used with tum ho. Now I'm ending the video over here. Now you'll be thinking, how are you gonna understand all this? First of all, you can repeat watching these videos. You'll get it. Also, there would be the next part of this video which would solely be based for the examples. So it will just have examples. So stay tuned and don't forget to revise it. I'm coming up with the examples and then you'll just get it all right. So until next time, bye bye.